Was it tough to follow up Father Dat? Were there expectations like that to bring in a lot of guys, or even just within yourself?
Yeah. Vocation director, it's probably going to be the toughest job I ever had as a priest.
Really?
Because as vocation director, you're trying to sell a product that nobody in the world really wants to buy. And that's the best way that I can explain it. Yes, it's hard. And as vocation director, all anybody wants to ask you is, how many new guys you got? How many new seminarians? So like whole identity is tied up with the numbers of guys that you have that are coming into seminary. And vocation director it's so difficult, so challenging, because you've got to identify in others. Do we really think this is what this guy has? Is he worth giving a shot to go in for? It's tough. And then you got to be the guy to say no sometimes.
Oh,
Where a guy's in seminary and it's clear it's not working out, and maybe he's not called to be a priest. So
that's tougher, I suppose.
It's so hard. It's such a hard ministry. So if you're asking if it's hard to follow Father Dat, yes, it was. Being vocation director is incredibly tough. And that's why, Father Richard, he's one of the priests I pray for by name every day, because his job is so hard. And because it's
I
so
can imagine
difficult.
it's like, it might be like being a military recruiter. People are trying to run away from you, and you have to kind of follow them, and they kind of want to do it, but
Yeah, and one of the stories, and I was just sharing this with another priest, Steubenville youth conferences. Great opportunities.
Yes.
Beautiful experience for young people to come forward and get to know the Lord in a deeper way, to experience his incredible love, the adoration, the masses, the confessions that are available. It's beautiful. At the end of most Steubenville conferences, they do an altar call where they say, any boys, any girls that want to be priests or nuns, come forward. We're going to say a blessing. And you get tons of people that come up there. And the bishop gives them a blessing about discernment and the Lord's love and being faithful and listening to him. Back in the day, and I don't know if Steubenville still does this, but they would give cards to the young people to say, hey, fill this out with your name, your email address. We'll send it to your vocation director.
Okay.
So every summer I would get a stack of these cards from Steubenville to say, these are people that are living in your diocese. Reach out to them. Every year I would write an email to everybody who filled out those cards. Do you know how many times I got a respond email from anybody who came and went to a Steubenville youth conference?
How many?
0.
Really?
0. No one ever responded. And I would say, hey, I'm Father TJ, I'm vocation director. These are all the programs that we have. Here's our website. Here's the activities. Here's the programs. You had such a great experience on this retreat. Why don't you reach out and continue to discern?
Must be very...
But then they don't...
It's like disheartening, I suppose, for you.
It's incredibly disheartening. I think it's incredibly disheartening just for the church in general. We have a huge shortage of priests and religious. Humongous shortage. The harvest is abundant. The laborers are few. And there's so many things in our culture. There's so many options that young people have that's not priesthood religious life. And we all need to pray. Pray for more priests and nuns. Pray for more brothers and sisters. We need more. We need more young people to stand and say, yes, I will follow the Lord. It's hard, yes. It's challenging, yes. It's difficult, yes. But that's the life of a Christian. It's following where Jesus wants us to go. So we do. We all need to pray for that. And parents, if there's any parents watching, listening, please encourage your kids to think about priesthood.
What's the biggest obstacle you say towards people, keeping people from religious life?
The biggest obstacle is the culture. When you think about the radical commitment it takes to follow Jesus as a priest or religious, you got to lay down everything. You got to sacrifice everything. You got to be willing to say, it's not me anymore. It's the Lord. And in that beautiful moment at an ordination or a consecration, lay down on the altar. I'm dying. I'm dying to my needs, my wants, my desires so that I can follow Jesus. Our culture does not celebrate that at all. And that is the biggest challenge. And our culture says, no. You need to do what you want to do. You need to be who you want to be.
It's all about you.
It's all about you. That's the biggest obstacle is our culture.